Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to a brand new YouTube video. 15 weeks out today, and I have quads. Well, quad focus leg day. I'm gonna still hit adductors, which I'm doing right now. Maybe just 1 or 2 exercises for hams, and maybe 1 for glutes. More than likely 4 exercises for quads, but depending on how I'm feeling, depending on how my knees are feeling, I'll go from there. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do 4 exercises, 2 to 3 working sets each, and that's gonna be all she wrote. Still got 25 minutes of cardio today, and I don't really got much to say. I just want to work out. But in the last video, I said I was gonna mention my weight, which I never did. I believe I was like 290 in the last video. I started my prep at 297, but the highest I got in the off season was a little over 300. I think like 305 or so. I didn't care to sustain it. I didn't think it was something I wanted to sustain. My performance was shitty. My sleep was shitty, so I figured I would kind of start a little lower. So I didn't push the food any higher. But let's get into it. We got adductors first. Check it out. All right, so adductors, we got the gym pin on there, a couple plates, and a stack. Arsenal is pretty heavy, but my adductors need quite a bit of weight to stimulate. So this is what we're doing. My adductor's been super tight for some reason too. I don't know why, but been super tight. So I'm gonna try to control it nice and slow on negatives, so I don't snap my shit up. Shit. I was kind of heavy, but I think that was 12 or 13 reps, something like that. So if I get over 10, I usually go up in weight, but I don't think I'll go up. I think I'll stay there and try to match the reps. I'm getting a better pump somehow with less food. It's weird, but sometimes that happens at the beginning of prep. I think off season when the food is so high, eventually your body kind of gets overwhelmed and overinflamed, and it just doesn't respond to anything the way it should. That's why I'm making a point in off season, when I start feeling like that, to back off of food, bring it down a little bit, reset, get the digestion back where it needs to be, and just feel, I wouldn't say healthy, but maybe it's not a good word, but just feel like generally just better, you know. And when you feel better, usually that's when you perform better, and you can kind of, you know, take a little break and then push again. So there's always gonna be like a pull and push. You push, then you pull for a little, and you push again. So this pull, this pull happens to be a prep pull, I'm already starting to feel better. Last workout that I got on YouTube, I wasn't feeling too good, but that was a sleep issue. I don't believe that was a diet issue, but enough talking. Let me get this set. Oh, in the last video, somebody was like, stop talking so much and just work out. And it's like, it's a fucking YouTube video. Like, that defeats the point. The point is to update you guys on what's going on, walk you through the process so you can see like the ups and downs. You can see how every day isn't perfect. And make no mistake, there's gonna be a point of prep where I'm not gonna have much to talk about, or I might not be able to even physically talk. But that's real. That's actually part of the process. So if you just want to watch somebody work out in silence, you can just go to your gym and watch people work out. You know, this is a YouTube video, so you gotta use your common sense while I'm talking. If the camera's not on, obviously I wouldn't be talking to myself. So it's just use a little common sense. I'm not Ronnie Coleman. Like people aren't gonna watch me work out in silence just for fun. That's not how it works. Game time. First working set, leg extensions, going for 10 to 15 reps. You get 15, you go up. You get 10 or less, you go down or stay the same. You get less than 10, you go down. You get at least 10, you stay the same. All right. Get in time. That was like 18, I think. So I'm gonna go up. I was gonna start with the stack, but my knees get to acting up, so I figured I would do a lighter working set first. Which is fine, because leg extension is not an exercise that I'm so bent on overloading. Still try to progress, but it's not really like my driving factor in leg extensions. First of all, I'm trying to get my knees warm for leg press and squats. And I'm also trying to get a really good pump. But I will progress if I can. You know, my knee health comes before progression though. If my knees goes to shit, there is no progression anyway. So keep my knee health intact, get a good pump, and then progress. All right, second working set of leg press. I dropped the weight down a little bit. Want to get a little bit more reps. Got 10 reps on last set. I want to get 15 or so. Get that blood going. I think overloading is always great, but I definitely want to also get a good pump. So I try to do a little bit of both. That first set is kind of like my overload set. Try to hit my usual weight, being that I'm on prep. Try to hit the usual weight. If possible, get stronger. If not possible, try to maintain that weight. And then on the back down set, I don't really care about all that. I just try to get a good pump. Never light though. There's no There's no light days, no light training. It's always heavy. But the thing about heavy is it's a relative term, so it's only heavy to the person. All right, front squats. I'm only doing front squats because I can't back squat because my shoulder's been killing me. But as I lose weight, I should be able to back squat. So let's see what I can do right now. Getting warmed up. Change of plans. We're gonna do back squat now instead because the front squat somehow actually hurt my shoulder more than the back squat. So go figure. And since I'm already here, I'm gonna keep it going. So I guess we're doing back squat. Fuck it.
In other words,
Fucking bar was crooked on my back. Kept trying to adjust it. Fuck it. I ain't no quitter though. I'm gonna keep it going. Get myself scoliosis and shit. Alright, I'm gonna do a few working sets here. Leg extensions to finish off quads. I like to start and finish with extensions. Get a good pump, warm up, and then finish with a good pump. So that's one of the movements I feel a lot. I feel extensions and I feel squats. I feel leg press as well, so I stick to those movements. Some variation of squat, some variation of leg press, and then extensions. Shit. Shit. The absolute worst time to pose is after a fucking leg day, when all the blood is in your legs and your upper body's flat as fuck, but I'm a G, so I don't give a fuck. Yo, what's up, y'all? Back at the crib, at my favorite spot, obviously, by the laptop, doing client check-ins and uploading the podcast. So this is what I do, man. It's what I do for a living. I'm immersed in bodybuilding full time. Whether it's training myself, training clients, coaching myself, or sending check-ins to my coach, which is Justin Compton. In other videos, I was so focused on getting through my day and through work and getting through the workout and having a shitty workout. And I wasn't able to cover some of the topics I wanted to cover. such as the X's and O's of the prep. I didn't even mention. I don't think I mentioned I'm even working with Justin Compton. But if you follow me, you probably know that already. He's been my coach on and off for the last 6 years, I want to say. Prepped me for a couple of shows. At the time, I wasn't very coachable. Obviously, I'll take that. I'm not one of these guys who like to point fingers at people and shit like that. I just wasn't very coachable, and my lifestyle wasn't. I thought I was giving it my all, but I really wasn't. I was giving it my all when I felt like it, and that's just me being honest. And I think a lot of people can listen. Everybody can do better. Every single person can do better. I don't care if you're Hadi Chupan. You can always do better. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't Hadi Chupan, by the way. I was really just. I would do whatever the fuck I wanted all year round. Obviously, training was always intense, but that's not good enough. I would do whatever I wanted all year round, and then for 16 weeks, I would dial in. But 16 weeks out of the whole year is just not enough, man. It's just not enough. You gotta, if you really want this at this level, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be all in. And all in doesn't, well, that's the title of the, it's the title of the series actually, which is, I didn't do that on purpose, I promise. But that's how I'm feeling. I'm gonna be all in. For the next 5 years at least, I'm gonna be all in, because that's something I can honestly say I haven't done. I haven't been all in. You know what I'm saying? Being all in for 12, 16 weeks is not all in. That's 4 months. We have 12 months in a year. It's just not gonna cut it. Your body has to be primed, ready, recovered. Just everything has to be on point. If you want to win big at the national level. You know what I'm saying? Some people can get away with more, some people can get away with less. I'm not interested in getting away with nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not interested in sneaking a pro card by doing every national qualifier in different states and different cities and different countries and all of this shit. I have no interest in that. I want the USA title. And if I can't win that, then I'm not worthy of being pro. Like what's, you know what I'm saying? I'm not card chasing. I'm just not that guy, where it's like, I want a pro card, I want a pro card, I want a pro card. These guys, like, it's weird. Guys do a couple of local shows and they're like, I want a pro card, I want a pro card, pro card. Oh, the pro card. Everything is pro card, pro card. Like, this obsession just to be a shitty pro, with all due respect. Like, you want to just sneak in a pro card just to say you're a pro, but nobody gives a fuck because you're not that impressive. I'm not trying to be mean, but that seems to be the thing now, And I get it. Some people say, well, it's good for business, Being a shitty pro is good for business. I mean, how about just being a good coach? If you want to get more clients, just be a good coach, The top coaches aren't even pro, so what are we talking about? Is Hani a pro? Is Chris Aceto a pro? Chad? You know what I'm saying? The top coaches aren't even pro, so I don't really like that excuse. Oh, for business, like, you can brand yourself without a pro card. So just brand yourself, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm getting off tangent, but I have specific goals for my physique, and those goals are going to lead me to a pro card. It's pretty simple. I don't have to pro card chase to get a pro card. I can just actually get the job done. This is the difference. You can't teach that shit. Some people just don't get that, and that's fine. It's not for everybody to get, but that's just not my goal. So, no need to ask me, are you going to do North Americans? Are you going to do nationals? Are you going to do MACHO? Are you going to do amateur Arnold? I have no desire to do any of those shows. I just don't. I don't really care about anybody's opinion on that. This is my life, my career, my journey, and I don't even want to call bodybuilding a career, but I guess I have to, because everything I do is surrounded in bodybuilding, how I make a living. So I'm gonna do it my way. Can't nobody tell me different. I live life my terms. I always have, and I always will, and I'm always gonna do things my way. Right, wrong, in between, it's irrelevant. It's my life. I'm gonna live it my way to my last breath. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the only way I want to live. I can't live on anybody's terms. I don't do the sponsorship stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just not really my thing. I work with brands I like. I don't work with brands for money. Anybody can use a paycheck, obviously. I'm not saying that I'm doing so well that I don't want any money. Obviously, I want money, but that's not really a concern or care for me. You know what I'm saying? I get offers, you know, not the offers that I would take seriously, but I also don't expect offers that I would take seriously because I haven't really done shit in the sport. You know what I'm saying? Just because I have somewhat of a following and people like me or respect me, you know, or both, that's cool, but that doesn't mean anybody's gonna pay me. And I'm cool with that. I don't really need anybody to pay me because I pay myself. You know what I'm saying? And I prefer it that way. So nobody gets to run my show. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And I'm gonna keep it that way. So even if a deal comes that I like, I can only take it if I can do what the fuck I want because that's the only way I know how to live. And if you sign me and you don't agree with that, then you're gonna be very disappointed in what you get. So it is what it is. I'm going off on a tangent. Yes, so Monday. So that would be 15 weeks out officially. You know, well, a couple days under 15, but I'm not about to say fucking 14.9. So let's say 15 weeks out. Rather than show you every meal, every video, that might get annoying, and I mean it's gonna be annoying for me because I have to stop what I'm doing, hungry as fuck, to film the food. I can just run you down the diet, you know, right? So you know exactly what I'm eating. You know what I'm saying? You know exactly what I'm eating every day. It doesn't change. You know, if it does change, I'll let you know. I'm not having any refeeds right now. I just started to prep. Not having a cheat meal, so this diet is every day. There's no off day diet. There's no high day, medium day. Look, none of that. It's just a fucking diet, and I follow it. This is how I like it. This is how Compton does it, which is why I work with Compton because it's very simple. And I like simplicity. Simplicity. I don't like a bunch of ups and downs and pulls and pushes. Only when it's necessary. And I don't think 15 weeks out it's necessary to have 3 low days, 1 medium day, and 1 high day. And I just don't think that's necessary right now, or really at all for the most part. You know, but some people like that. Some people like complex shit. I'm not one of those people. So choose your coach wisely and based off of your style, I guess. Let's see. Okay. I'll probably superimpose this on the video, but so meal number 1, 8 ounces chicken breast, 6 ounces of white rice. I don't have a breakfast. This is bodybuilding. There's no breakfast bodybuilding. I don't do the eggs, which is a breakfast type meal. Eggs don't digest really well for myself, so I don't do it. Yeah, 8 ounce chicken breast, 6 ounces of white rice. Meal 2, 50 grams whey isolate, 50 grams of oats. Meal 3, 8 ounces of chicken breast, 6 ounces of white rice. Meal 4, 8 ounces of lean beef. I do the 90% lean ground beef with 6 ounces of rice. Intra-workout, 10 grams creatine. Pump pre-workout with glycerol. Simple enough. Post-workout, 50 grams whey iso, 80 grams cream of rice. Cardio, 25 minutes, 5 times a week. Cycle. Should I say my cycle? I'm trying to be as transparent as possible, but how transparent can you be on YouTube? Don't want my channel taken down. I don't think this will get my channel taken down. I haven't read the terms and agreements and any of that, so don't really know how much I can actually get into on these videos. But I've already talked about it in past videos, so I guess if they strike me, I'll start a new channel, and just make sure you follow me on my new channel if they strike this shit. Cycle. Test E, 1,000 milligrams per week. EQ, 600 milligrams per week. And that's where people probably gonna judge me a little bit, maybe, but I don't really give a fuck.
So GH10IU daily. FYI, Compton didn't prescribe me that cycle. This was, I did my own off season, and this was the cycle I ran, the cycle I like, pretty much the same cycle I do every off season. So that's the cycle I'm doing. And if he needs to make changes, then he will. Obviously 15 weeks out, no need to change that cycle. So this is my dosage. It's not Compton's dosage. Just so people don't say, well, this is the Compton cycle, and whatever the case is. So just clarifying that. But yeah, simple enough. As you can see, very basic. Nothing complex. No ghee butter, no almonds and nut butters and macadamia nut oil. None of that. Just your basic fucking whole foods. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna take away the fat from the eggs and have egg whites, but then add fucking some oil or nuts and then subtract this and minus that. It's not really my cup of tea. So simpler the better. That's pretty much it. Coach is Compton. That's my meal plan. I even went over my cycle, which I wasn't planning on doing, but it was on the paper, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna just gloss over it. So I might as well say it. I don't got nothing to hide. So there it goes. Trying to be as transparent and raw as possible. People seem to appreciate my honesty. I just say how it is. I honestly, I don't even have the energy to bullshit. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I don't even have the energy to bullshit. For me, it's easier to be honest. It would be harder for me to lie and cover shit up. That's just not my personality. So what you see is what you get at all times, and everybody knows that. I'm getting hungry. It's actually 1:45 a.m., which, believe it or not, for me is not that late. But I'm trying to get to bed earlier, which doesn't mean I'm going to sleep earlier. But at least getting to bed and getting relaxed, turning off the lights, getting into the zone, putting on some rain sounds and shit like that, it will get you in the mood a little faster rather than staying up editing shit and, looking up on my phone, scrolling to shit and reading comments and shit. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end it there. No need to show the last meal because I already told you what it is. We had Lee Priest on the podcast today, which by the time this video comes out, you already saw the episode. But man, it was dope having Lee on. Lee is just a very blunt, honest guy, very upfront. Maybe misunderstood by some. Not many people, but maybe misunderstood sometimes. Because some of his jokes, maybe people are too sensitive, take it the wrong way. And I think that's the best case scenario. Somebody who has a great sense of humor, doesn't take himself too seriously, and says it how it is. He's not scared to say anything about anything. If even if his own friends are wrong, he'll say it as it is. And so that's somebody I respect. I've always respected, and it was a pleasure having him on. That was the 50th episode, so I wanted to do something special. So figured I'd get Lee on, and he was down. So that was what it was. All right, but if you guys like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at Bodyfall, TikTok Bodyfall. I don't even know if TikTok is still around. I heard they trying to ban that shit, but I still got it. Email me for coaching at bodyfall@icloud.com, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm not high today, by the way, at least not yet. So that last video, I was pretty fucking high. But yeah, let me get my last meal into bed.